Ms. Edward Nyakon. To every door, there's a key. So as in the business space, if you want to enter into any business space, you need a key. And to this we're going to look at the keys to help startups stand up and make sure that they go over the scale that is ahead of them, especially in 2022. So today, we have in the studio Dr. Michael Ejekumado, who is the CEO of Mikado Group of Companies, to share his experience with that, because to him, startups, the keys are not a rocket science. It can be gotten easily, so long as we hearken to instructions and discipline. So we're going to listen to him this evening and find out how we can make sure that we make the best out of that idea that you have at the moment. But before we proceed, let's take the base language for today. Hello, welcome back to Market Avenue. We'll go straight to the Ghana Stock Exchange to find out how the equities are faring as the year is gradually wrapping up. And Esther Edu is here to walk us through the performance of the equities for today.
Well, Edward, the composite index went up by 10.67 points. And I think that's also good if we are hoping to get to the 45% mark by the end of the year. The financial stocks also went up by 19.37 points. This is due to the performance of EGL and ETI. The year-to-date change is 44.66%, and the financial stocks, the year-to-date change there is 19.78%. When we come to trading for today, in terms of volume, we have it at 3,299,455, and they were valued at 4,163,315, and the market cap is 64,532,000,000 cedis. For trading results, the equities that registered price changes today, there were EGL and ETI all in the financial sector, and that's the reason why the financial index went up. And we have it at EGL gained 13 pesos and ETI gained 1 peso. For today, the equities that were traded, yes, also gained 2 pesos. We had just about 6 or 7 equities changing hands today, and the most that was traded in was MTN Ghana, over 3 million, and that accounted for over 91% of shares that were traded. In terms of value, that was around 72%. And so the equities that exchange hands today, EGL, that's 49,479. We have ETI at 50,000. Fan Milk at 124,632. We have MTN Ghana, as I said, over 3 million. Societe General 69,198, and Standard Chartered Bank 2,437. So, Edward, that's about it. We're hoping that tomorrow can be a game changer and we'll end up around the 45% mark.
Thank you very much for the update from the Ghana Stock Exchange. We'll go for a short break. When we come back, we're going to have a conversation with Dr. Michael Ejekumado, CEO of Mikado Group of Companies, to find out more from him how you can propel your startups. Doc, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Great to have you once again. Great. Startups, people have a lot of ideas, and they're looking forward to how the keys to unlock this startup. Let's take it gradually. In 2022, which we are just about a couple of weeks away, if I have a startup and I want to go full blast, what are the things I need to put in place?
Good. Thanks, Edward, and thanks for your viewers. And I believe I have to give them Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much, sir.
Fresh ideas. Startups. What does it go to it? What does it take to start your business? The first thing is your ideas. Do you have any idea at all? Where is it coming from? And I'm saying that you must start from the known to the unknown. The known is what you have been thinking of. You've seen your friends do. You've seen your family do. What has been your family business? Was it poultry farm? Was it a shop? Was it farming? Whatever. And then they took you to school, thinking that you are going to do a white-collar job. No. For now, in the 21st century, do something that you know already. The education that you've received from your parents is going to enhance your knowledge in whatever your parents were doing. So go in there, if you're an accountant, go into the poultry that your dad used to do and put your accounting ideas into it and make it better. So you need to have the ideas, you have to have the dream, you have to have the vision that we've all been talking about. You must have ideas, and these ideas is what historically you must embark on. 2, what is your interest? What is your talent? You know, from infancy, from JHS, SHS, university level, there were certain things that you used to do freely. You were a footballer, you are a musician, you can play the keyboard, you know how to draw. These things are talents. And I'm saying that is the startup, seriously. Your talent is something that you have to dwell on. From infancy, you are a lady and you were cooking nicely. You are a man and you can sew because your mom used to sew and you used to help her do the buttons and so on. It is the startup. So creating ideas is something that you know already from the home. Now, at school, you used to also do certain things that you were good at. Basket weaving, drawing, painting. At school, your mates used to admire you for certain things that you used to do. That is your startup. So these are the things that your imaginative mind should draw your attention to. That at this point in time, in my life, 21st century, I will not get jobs created by anybody. So I will not dangle my certificate office to office, Accra to Paga, Aflao to Elubo, looking for jobs. No. Go back your own historical memory lane. What have you been doing? I remember myself at senior high school. I used to do Red Cross. When somebody had an injury, I would see me with the plaster, that kind of stuff.
So now secondary school days.
Secondary school days.
O-level days.
So I'm not surprised that I'm now a pharmacist.
Okay.
And now if I want to create any job, I create jobs within the health profession because that is where my interest lies.
Some say passion.
Passion. We had mates that were very good athletes. This is an area for you. Create an academy. So go back your memory lane, what you've been doing nicely. That is the startup. So if you want to start something, what ideas do you have? What can you imagine? When you wake up, what comes into your mind? Now I realize that most Ghanaians do not really have their own imaginative idea. So they watch others and then they try to copy. So we become copycats. You are asking me why. It's the way we were trained. We were brought up from home. And if you want me to take you through... then
you are at liberty to do so, sir.
During your crawling time, you want to crawl anywhere, anyhow. No pattern. Yet your mom will force you to stop what you are doing. She will put you at her back and make sure that she ties you. You will be, moving your legs and crying, because you want to develop your imaginative mind. So she should allow you, and she doesn't want to allow you, because
so the crawling is part of creating space for your mind.
It's a divine way of developing our mindset, to have the imagination. We don't have to wait for the pastor to tell us what will happen next year, like prophecy. No. We all have that ability to see the future, but because it was killed by our parents. So what I'm advising parents nowadays is that allow, just create an atmosphere where the person will not enjoy himself. Put certain things, but allow the space. And then you watch the child. He goes there and comes back. No pattern. No pattern. That's abstract designs now. Developing the right imaginative brain. At a point in time, the child will be singing. It doesn't make any meaning to the elderly. Allow. But to you, he's making noise. You are tired. But allow. Otherwise, let him go to her room. But she doesn't want to go to her room and sing alone. She wants to sing to you. So admire it. That will be opening the mind. You're asking why we are not imaginative. And I'm telling you, we kill. We kill the imagination. He was at 2 or 3. He wants to draw on the floor. You stop it, because he's making the tiles dirty. Then he goes onto the wall. Allow. But you will not allow. If he knows how much it costs to have a paint, to paint the wall, you won't allow it. By shouting and popping up your eyes at him, you lock the imaginative mind. And they do that to us for all these years. So by 5, 6, 10, your imaginative power is already killed. Those of you who have been traveling, if at the airport you can see a white child and a black child, just watch.
And the white child goes around display all over the place. Yes.
But the black child, they will force you.
To the mother, yes.
They'll force you.
It's like you have been tied, you know?
Yes. So then as we grow, then we want you to be respectful.
That discipline?
That's what we call. And we become timid in our thinking. You are in the same class with a white child. You may even be better academically. But practically, they are much, much better than us. And goes all the way to our adulthood, because we lack imaginative mind. Along the line too, from 2, 3, 4, 5, we don't use toys. We are not used to toys. Any child, green or black, yellow or white, will destroy the toy that you give him when they see the light or the noise. They are curious. They want to know what is in it. And yet, the black child is not given the opportunity to have toys. So, he gets narrow-minded. We don't take them on excursions. So these are areas where we can develop our imaginative mind for the startup.
All right. Now, someone watching us, a young man, has been having this idea for ages.
Okay.
But he's knocked doors for finance to push this business, and there seems to be no response.
No.
He looks at the bank's loans. It's terrifying. No. What does that person do?
No. And I want to say and repeat, no. Money is not the key. And that's what is happening in this country, and it's worrying us. The entrepreneurial mind is the key. The imagination is the key. Goodwill is the key. Money is the least of all the factors to do your startup and to grow your business. Banks and big-time businesses, both local and foreign, are going in for people that they can trust. Can they trust you? And for now, Maslow and others, we give them monies and monies and monies every year since 2000. There have been monies to the youth, and yet nothing comes out of it. Isn't it time that we stop pushing money and rather advising on entrepreneurial mindset? And mindset has got something to do with how to create the demand, how to have your target, how to have the technology by you, and not the cash. If they give you the money, 50,000, what are you going to use it for? Not until you know what you want, what you are doing, what goes into it. What kind of IT are you going to use to run your business? What kind of machines are you going to use? What are the gadgets? What are the resources that you are going to use? Is it land, office, or what? To share my own experience with you.
Okay.
I started with nothing. Akejetia Kumasi. I saw a shop closed down for the past 5 years. So I inquired about the owner. He said he is in exile in Abidjan. I went all the way to Abidjan.
What year was that?
1986.
Okay.
1986. And when I went, the man said, yes.
You went to
Style.
Abidjan?
I went to Abidjan.
Then you had money?
No.
To travel
the
that
world
time
power. Okay, what about the world power?
Okay.
You would have said, oh, Abidjan is too far, I won't go. But I managed to go.
By air or by land?
Land.
Okay. How many days did you spend?
2 days.
Fantastic.
Yes. We went all the way to Sekojo Chrome. That was my first time of traveling on that street. And then went to Abidjan all the way with the wife. And then we met him and he said, okay, if you're able to get me to Ghana, I'll give you the shop. So I didn't have that money to pay rent advance. The man gave it to me because he knew me and he knew that I was the type that would pay monthly. Okay? That was the beginning. The furnishing, I had to credit it because I didn't have that kind of money.
What product or what were you going to sell?
I'm a pharmacist, so I was going to run a pharmacy shop.
Okay.
Okay? So the first drugs that I got into the shop were on credit from the wholesalers in Kumasi. I went round and collected these. So I collected them on, I think, Monday. Friday, I paid some. And then I continued on and on and on and on. Without that lump sum capital, that's what I want to emphasize. But when anytime I went to the wholesaler and they said, oh, I needed some goods, they said, oh, we know you. So you can collect. And then I had to make sure that every week I was paying a little at a time. During that time, I would like to advise the youth that you've got to also be careful not to divert the money that's supposed to be for somebody to run your home. Your mom, your parents, your siblings, your nephews, and so your relatives, your friends. No. Make sure you concentrate in your startup. And I want to give a formula of not less than 3 years. They've got to say no to external pressure and recoup whatever profit that you make into the business to let the business grow, to grow your financial roots before you can bear financial fruits. The moment you start to display and then you try to help the home, you become a thief. So concentrate, focus on whatever you are doing with respect to the money that is coming out. And make sure that your creditors are your God. You've been praying that this Yuletide season, they will ask us to pray. 31st December, make resolutions. We have never met God. So whatever you want to do to me, God, do to the one closer to you.
Okay.
And the golden rule is that to do unto others as you wish others to do unto you. Don't go and credit things and go and give it to the church, go and give it to friends, and then hope that God will help you. Eventually, you collapse. So take whatever you are doing as you're worshiping God. If you do it righteously, He says all other things shall be added unto you. So I believe that Christianity is a way of life. We don't have to do whatever we want to do Monday to Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday go to church and pray to God and wish for forgiveness. It's not fair. It's not fair to people that we credit things from. It's not fair to take loans that you don't want to pay. It's not fair to handle customers roughly. The customer who is entering your shop or coming to buy something from you is your God. So if the Bible is telling us that I was hungry, you didn't feed me, it means that I had my things you came to borrow and you have taken it for your life. No. Pay me back so that my business can run. Church members are the most culprits that when they buy from you, they don't want to pay. A seamstress is in the church. She sews this kaba for the women. They don't want to pay. She's selling fish at the market. You go and credit. You don't want to pay until the pastor comes in before you pay.
So a church member? Yeah,
No, it's wrong. So the churches should preach. And the sermon this Christmas time, 2021, entering 2022, would be that whoever is in our church, that you are asking the person to help him back. Christians, if we can help ourselves, we will be the richest. I dare to say that the Muslims are richer than the Christians, all because we don't want to pay. We think that it should be for free, but it's not for free. The person also went to China to collect all these things. The person also sold the materials. The person also had these goods that you are going to market for yourself and make your profit. Please pay back.
So you talked about goodwill and being honest.
Yes.
As a startup, money is not.
It's not the most important.
It's not the most important thing. We need to be credit worthy as well.
Yes.
So if I have done all this and I need the money now, what do I do?
Good. Now you started with 2,000 worth of goods. By God's grace, people have paid you, so you made 3,000. Add the 1,000 to the 2,000. Don't chop the 1,000 and saying that that's my profit. I have a situation where I got goose for a friend. The following week, I saw my friend with a nice soup with a crantier. I said, hey, my friend said, oh no, it's part of my profit. There would be profit that he's chopping. The following week, I saw him in a new shirt. Hey, Bema, no man won't so don't worry. He said, my calculate me who profit, na me be it is the capital, the principal that the person is. Because whatever profit it is, it's in the goose. That's not being sold. It's in the stock. But the guy is using the daily sales as his profit. He's calculating in advance and using it. It's wrong. So recoup that profit into it and let it grow within the first 3 years of your business.
In terms of book management, a startup, what can I do to ensure that I do proper good management?
If you are listening to me and watching me, I'm saying that it's all about imagination. It's all about your ideas. It's all about the entrepreneurial mind to see that this business should grow the next 10 years. So I should not play hanky-panky these first 5 months, first 1 year. I have to be serious. I have to wake up. You have to have the self-motivation to wake up. The fact that you were sleeping before you started the business does not mean you should continue. If you continue and you're not hardworking, the business will collapse. So that is something that you need to do to make sure that you are on course. So you are hardworking. You are not spendthrift, meaning you are not buying things left and right. You are focusing and concentrating. So focus is another word that you've got to know. You've got to be self-control. You have to be sure that, I shouldn't misbehave. For example, you don't have to be fighting all the time. The moment you do something that is wrong, you realize that you have to be careful that you don't end up with the police station or court so that monies will be going. You have to be careful. And so I would say that since we don't have enough time, I would say that focus, make sure you have the goodwill, you have the imagination, you have the ideas, and put all your monies back into your business. And I have this book for you, Fundamentals of Entrepreneurship. If you get a copy at Mikado Pharmacy outlets, you would be on the path for business for 2022.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Michael Jekum Ado, for your time in the studio. We've been talking about keys to unlock the startups in 2022. My name is Edward Nyakun. God willing, we'll come your way tomorrow. Shalom.